Coming up on Cypress-based special edition of Broward Teen News.
One Cypress-based student fulfills her American dream.
Jenna goes out to try BJ's world-famous Pizooki.
And Kaylee gives us her opinion on homework. I'm Daniel Purcell.
And I'm Taylor Richmond, and this Broward Teen News edition of Aftershock starts now. Choosing your field of study in college can be a huge decision.
But we know one student that won't be having that issue. Here's Jenna with the story.
Chiara Gonzalez took her first steps at 10 months old. But to her, the more important milestone was when she was 2, when she stepped inside the dance theater studio for the first time.
I dance to express myself, to better myself, to be different, to be able to find my inner self, to project to the world what it is I'm feeling on the inside.
For the past 15 years, Chiara has spent hours in the studio, now dancing for a total of 36 hours per week.
She's a student that works super hard, super dedicated. Even when she's injured, she's marking, sitting in class, never misses.
Her dedication and hard work paid off, winning first place nationally in 2016 at Onstage America.
They ask you actually, like when you're announced, what's the one word that can best describe like what you're feeling right now? And besides saying speechless, it was blessed, because I'm lucky to have like a supportive system, like a supportive dance family and like family at home.
The other hours in the week were simply spent on school and sleep, so she could be accepted to a university her senior year.
Like all my life, I've taken honor classes, AP classes, strive for the best scores, SAT, ACT, like I wanted straight A's. Like I knew I would always want to dance, but I didn't think I'd want to take it like this seriously. Like I wanted to be a sports medicine, like doctor, or possibly like a lawyer.
After gaining admission to Florida State and Pace in New York City, Chiara knew she had a tough decision to make.
It wasn't until literally like a couple months ago, after I had gotten already like all my acceptance letters to college, that I decided, do I really want to go to school and be taking classes like all day long? Or do I want to go dance? And then it's kind of like, well, how is the world going to perceive me as somebody that's not really going to school?
Chiara decided to follow her dream as opposed to others' expectations, and will be taking a gap year from college to dance professionally.
I think it's in her destiny that she needs to be dancing professionally. And sometimes as dancers, we need to take a break from college and know that we'll be able to take classes online or whatever, but you need to kind of go do it now, because dancers have a really small time frame that you can get work.
It doesn't matter like how old I am or how late it is, like I still want to go to school, but just not right now. School will always be there, dance won't.
Chiara will be moving to Los Angeles, California in August, taking her first steps into her professional dance career. For the last time, Jenna Leval, CB-TV.
You know, Taylor, it takes a lot of work to produce an episode of Aftershock.
Yeah, and no one knows the production of the show better than our executive director, Jenna Leval.
Here's Corina with the story.
Jenna Leval has known she wanted to work in television since she was 5 years old.
My dad is the executive producer of an entertainment show in Miami, so I've always kind of been really interested in television because I've always wanted to be just like my dad.
To reach her goals, she joined the broadcasting classes in elementary school, middle school, and eventually entered Cypress Bay Television in her freshman year of high school.
The second I walked in, they were talking about introducing some of the officers, and they said there was an executive producer, and they started to talk about what she did in her job. I knew I wanted to be that.
As part of her initiative to get involved, she attended the Florida Scholastic Press Association State Convention to compete in April 2014.
I was so lucky that my freshman year, I competed with 2 people who were incredible and who still are incredible, and they were both seniors, and I learned so much that year. And we won. We ended up getting first place.
After winning first place in the state, Jenna continued competing, attending every convention she's qualified for since her first FSPA.
Winning that year and knowing that it was the most incredible feeling, that I just wanted to keep doing that, doing anything I could to win.
While competing, she also became the executive producer for Aftershock in her junior year and executive director for her senior year, positions that would give Jenna even more competition opportunity. With Jenna as executive producer, Aftershock was named the best weekly news show in the nation by the Student Television Network in March 2016, a milestone moment for Jenna.
Winning SCN Excellence was without a doubt the greatest moment of my entire life. It was just the most incredible feeling to know that you spend all of your time in here doing, checking out equipment, lugging it everywhere, spending hours doing a story, and it does mean something.
And while the show didn't win a second time in 2017, the crew did win second place in the Crazy 8 News magazine, where teams have 8 hours to create an 8-minute news broadcast based on a given prompt.
We practice all the time for that competition. It's a crazy thing. Every time we practice, it has to be the whole 8 hours. We've shortened the times. It's just been a really intense time. I've been doing that same thing for 3 years. So getting to lead the team and getting to get second place in the nation was an incredible feeling.
Jenna never individually placed at STN, but by leading her teams to victory for 2 years, she doesn't feel very bad about it.
Winning Crazy 8, second place in the nation with everyone else knowing like I led the team was, I would say, made up for it, but even more.
Jenna will be attending the Florida State University in the fall, and while she won't be able to compete anymore, her competitive nature will follow. For the last time, Corina Aguilera, CB-TV.
Back in March, we traveled to Anaheim, California for the Student Television Network National Convention.
One of the competitions that we competed in was commentary, in which the prompt was homework, keep it or toss it. And this was our submission.
I've been doing homework for 5 hours already. I'm not even close to done. Honestly, I'm pretty exhausted. Do you think homework is beneficial for students? Because personally, as an actual high school student, here's my take on the topic. It's unnecessary.
There's barely any time for extracurricular activities, which colleges want to see, or time to spend with family and friends. As underdeveloped adolescents, this affects our social skills and mental growth. If we look at rankings between countries worldwide, Finland and South Korea are in the top 5 best countries educationally. The United States is ranked number 7, which is still pretty high, but we could be even better. Part of the reason our country lacks is due to the excessive amount of homework, which causes students to be stressed and frustrated.
Trans students based on in 8th grade, they visited all 3.
Compared to Finland and South Korea, which only give a maximum of 3 hours of homework per week, American high school students are receiving that amount per class, which ultimately adds up to 17 hours of homework weekly. According to sleepfoundation.org, only 15% of teenagers get the healthy amount of sleep on school nights, which is between 8 to 10 hours. I think I'm just going to catch up on all that sleep I should be getting. For Student Television Network, I'm Keely Powers reporting.
Moving here from New York, it was hard to get accustomed to the new area and make new friends.
It can be especially hard when you move here in the beginning of freshman year. Here's Jenna with more.
Corina Aguilera started writing stories when she was in 4th grade, not knowing her own story would involve telling others.
Growing up, I always liked to write. I liked to write stories and write novels. I would actually, in like 4th or 5th grade, I would write little short stories, and then my teacher would like them so much that she put them in their room, like for people to read, like if they wanted to, like with her library.
Corina was born in the small town of Metamora, Illinois. But in the middle of her freshman year, her father's job relocated her family to Weston, Florida, something she wasn't necessarily upset about.
There's so much more than just staying in a small town your entire life and doing what everyone else does just because that's what they do.
Her first week at Cypress Bay, Corina attended a general meeting for Cypress Bay Television, at which the officers took her under their wing, immediately making her feel welcome.
By the end of the meeting, I had planned a date to go with Jenna Workman and Erica Orstad to the movies on Friday.
Right away, Corina became involved in club activities, even joining the executive board her junior year.
I guess I kind of thought, you know, this is something that I really like, something I really want to do, and I really care about everything that we do in this club, so why not lead it?
3 years after joining Cypress Bay Television, Corina was made the president, allowing her to lead the club that gave her the home she needed and give that same home to other members.
She's amazing. She's always like, hey Karla, can you do this? Can you do that? Things that like I don't think that anyone would have thought of.
I've always believed everything happened for a reason, even before I moved from Illinois, but then coming here and being in CBTV and getting to go through everything I went through reiterated that for me.
If Corina hadn't moved to South Florida,
I'd be taking a lot more farming classes.
And she'd be a very different person.
I definitely wouldn't be as sure what I wanted to do if it wasn't for CBTV and moving here. I just feel like I'm a lot happier than I would have been if I hadn't moved.
In the summer of 2017, Corina will make her next big move to Orlando, Florida, now sure of what she wants to study thanks to CBTV.
And I'm Corina Aguilera, and Aftershock starts now.
I've grown a lot because of CBTV, not just because I now know how to make videos, but because I think I'm a better person because of CBTV too.
Corina will continue writing her own story and hundreds of others while attending the University of Central Florida for the next 4 years. Jenna Leval, CB-TV.
Senior Karla Recio has always had the American dream.
I had the American dream for a long time. I remember every time I would look for exchange programs. At one point I wanted to move to Canada. I was looking at programs to like just study abroad.
Raised in Monterrey, Mexico, the cultural customs she grew up around didn't match her beliefs, and the people around her took a toll on her confidence.
I was really shy. I wouldn't like to talk to like anyone. In Mexico, they would judge you for like whatever you say, and they would you would say something like important, and then people would boo you. I always wanted to change. I didn't want to stay in Mexico because it's super conservative and like it's super just you stay in your own box, and here it's like everyone's in the same box and like you have different boxes and like it's a circle.
Still, her confidence remained the same until she joined Cypress Bay Television, the TV production class at Cypress Bay High School.
TV production introduced me to Skills USA, and that's like the actual thing that helped me to get out of my shell.
Skills USA is a national career technical education organization looking to close the skills gap and develop young working leaders. As a television production student, Karla became a member and later a Skills USA Florida State officer for her senior year, taking charge of the organization's social media and promotion. Spending her senior year working as a state reporter, Karla credits this position and organization as the reason for her personal and social growth.
I had no idea of like the changes that it would bring. Like I think that they gave me really good communication skills. So like right now I could just go talk to someone randomly and I can be like, hey, how's your day? I can have a full-on conversation like if I knew them.
As Karla moves on from Skills USA and attends Florida Atlantic University this summer, she wants to help others to be courageous enough to try new things, just like she did. Corina Aguilera, BECON-TV.
Who's calling you?
Oh, it's just a random number.
Well, pick up the phone. Hey Taylor, have you ever been to BJ's?
No, but I heard they have good desserts.
They really do. And Jenna went out to try just one of their delicious treats.
BJ's first opened its doors in 1978 and has since been creating various kinds of handcrafted meals and desserts. Today, I've tried 3 different takes on their world-famous Pizookis, the classic chocolate chip, the gluten-free chocolate chip, and the monkey bread. Only 3 of the 8 flavors of Pizookis BJ's bakes on a daily basis. The monkey bread drove me bananas with its cinnamon bun-inspired base. I'm usually not a big cinnamon fan, but the cinnamon didn't overwhelm me because it was combined perfectly with the creamy vanilla bean ice cream. The gluten-free chocolate chip Pizooki made me reevaluate the need for gluten in dessert. It tasted similar to the classic chocolate chip, with only a slightly less sweet base. I would recommend it to anyone, whether you're gluten-free or not. While the other 2 are great, personally my favorite was classic chocolate chip, which was filled with melted chocolate and covered in a vanilla bean ice cream that BJ's makes itself. It definitely tasted homemade and had a perfect blend of chocolate, ice cream, and cookie. Wow, I already want to go get another one. Make sure you check out BJ's as soon as you can and try as many Pizookies as possible. For FSPA, I'm Jenna Leval.
While we were at the Student Television Network, people from as far as Russia came to participate.
And here's Corina with more on their journey to America.
The Student Television Network invites students from across the country to their annual convention. But since 2016, some students travel from a little farther.
U.S.-Russia TV Bridge Project brings together students from Russia and the United States, and they produce documentary broadcasts.
The whole point of it is to learn from each other, and that's kind of what it was founded on. The importance of learning, the importance of an understanding of what's going on around you, not just what's in front of you.
As part of the U.S.-Russia Social Expertise Exchange, high school American and Russian students work together to create an art that they all have a passion for.
We are united now, and we can do everything together, different projects, new videos, or programs.
Participants from both countries come together to create the TV Bridge, where they can put aside the differences to produce a content that a larger audience can understand.
I cut it up how I thought he said something, and for the most part I was right.
Journalism is a form of art because it's a universal language. It doesn't matter what language you speak. It's all about your passion, your interest for journalism.
It's a universal career, no matter what country you're in. It's just the language barrier, and it's just the ability to understand how to tell the story. You know, there are many hardworking students around the world doing what I do, so the fact that I could be able to kind of learn from them and they can learn from us, that would make us both better journalists.
Even though the students come from different backgrounds and nationalities, their passion for the arts breaks those barriers and builds a bridge in their place. For the Student Television Network, I'm Corina Aguilera reporting.
A lot of people can't afford the cross-country trip that it took to get to the Student Television Network convention in Anaheim, California.
But one student was able to make it happen with the convention's help. Here's Jenna with the story.
The Student Television Network hosts thousands of student journalists and filmmakers every year for their annual convention. And STN has created a way to allow even more students to be able to attend.
I think it's really important that we try to get kids here who really, really want to be here, and they couldn't be here if they didn't get that help.
Julie Bremen applied for a need-based scholarship to the 2017 STN convention.
Originally, I really wanted to go on the trip, but I could not afford it. And then I found out that there was a scholarship, and so I applied for it, filled out the application, wrote an essay, and just turned it in and hoped.
The scholarship Julie received not only gave her the opportunity to go to STN, but also allowed her to gain more experience while she is still in high school.
It was really important to me before graduating. I just really want to learn as much as I can, especially, even if it's behind the camera, I wanted to learn as much as I can about it. This has been the biggest opportunity for me to get to participate in so many different film aspects.
Julie would not have been able to attend the convention without the scholarship, which only makes her appreciate her time in Anaheim even more.
It actually inspires me more because I see so many people need you, and I'm meeting so many people here and making so many connections, and I think there's definitely a lot of benefits to being here.
STN plans to keep the scholarship program for the foreseeable future to help students like Julie make it to the convention and experience all it has to offer. For the Student Television Network, I'm Jenna Leval reporting.
At the end of April, some Cypress-based students went to the Florida Scholastic Press Association State Convention.
4 Cypress-based students competed in the Man on the Streets category with the prompt, Fuel the Fire.
Here's Alec and Zach with their entry.
Welcome to FSPA 2017. This year's theme is Ignite, and we've got something hot coming up for you.
FSPA is a statewide convention where students studying journalism can compete, connect, and show their skills in on-the-spot competitions.
We're here to see how these student journalists can handle the heat of the competition. Now, speaking of Ignite, this thing's getting pretty hot.
So what are you competing in today?
I am competing in photography. I'm Man on the Street. Doing the Man on the Street.
I am competing in the on-the-spot one shot for one capture of a photo, and I am also competing in edit to the beat.
So, you're in the middle of competition right now, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's getting pretty intense, don't you think?
Yeah.
Double the competitions. Double the on-the-spot competitions.
What that means?
Things must get pretty hot. Are you feeling, the pressure of the competition a little bit?
Yeah, it's my first time here at FSPA and first time doing news photography, so I'm not really sure exactly how it works, but I'm just gonna try my best.
Right now, we are in one of the hottest areas of the convention, the opening ceremony.
As you can see, there are over 1,000 student journalists here ready to celebrate the beginning of the convention.
And things are just starting to heat up as students prepare for their competitions. Wow, Zach, what a day.
You got that right. It was a hot one, too. The temperature, competition, even the people.
And that wraps up day one of FSPA.
Now, if you'll excuse us, we've got to go relax.
For the Florida Scholastic Press Association, I'm Alec Marsh.
And I'm Zach Alford. Don't forget to fuel that fire, FSPA.
That's all for this Broward Teen News edition of Aftershock.
If you want to watch previous episodes from Cypress Bay Television, you can find them at cypressbaytv.com.
And while you're at it, follow us on Twitter at CypressBayCBTV. I'm Taylor Fishman.
And I'm Daniel Purcell. Thanks for watching.